The actual wording here, which comes through in translation as "do you begrudge my generosity," is your eye evil, because mine is good. It comes through in Shakespeare, "a green-eyed monster." With regard to what is just, we do well to bear in mind that the choice of word here, kept directly in translation, denarius, is what is due. It's what was due for a day's labour, dies, and therefore it was the wage that was correct and just in social situations of the time. So the others had no reason to expect that they should therefore have anything extra. We are in this situation if we're honest. We are often envious of people who have greater success than ourselves. And yet, if we only knew, much peace is lost through wanting what we haven't got. The person who is content with his lot and grateful for it is always free. He's not carrying unnecessary suffering, and we can liberate ourselves of a lot of pain by getting rid of desire. That actually rejoins even non-Christian philosophy. We find it in Buddhism, desire being the great enemy of interior peace and freedom. We find it also in Epicurus. He found that much pain was caused from needs for gratification. So if one was able to take away those needs, pruning them considerably, one could be at peace with little. I remember when we were burying my brother's mother-in-law, things were coming out. She died not long after her good husband, and I remember how I was actually in this oratory at the time, and something nudged me to go back to Wales and see him. So I went off, found him still fully lucid but very tired in hospital, and discreetly asked if he would like to receive what could be given at that time, for he was actually born a Catholic, a Pole. And he, in his weakness, quietly was serenely happy and received that preparation for death, which was his due as a born Catholic, despite what might have happened in the meantime with the horrors of war and the effect that might have had on his heart. But I remember hearing this. It was from my brother I got it, and when Dorothy, his wife eventually, was a young lassie from quite a well-to-do family in Wales, this young Pole who had escaped from the war and found work in North Wales was around, and a common friend of theirs whispered in her ear, she was about 24, 25 at the time, "If you can make do with little, he would be good for you." Now that meant a lot from a person from a well-to-do family, and she realized that there here was an offer for very simple existence, but with peace. And so it was, a peaceful marriage with never a quarrel as far as I could ever see. Very little, but there was joy. One time, John the 23rd, in his very simple way, said, "Our house was very poor. La nostra casa era molto povera. But it was very rich because there was a lot of God." And that, perhaps, would be a very simple philosophy that we can take with us as we go through life. Why complicate things by the evil and weight of desire and need? The soul, in its truth, is grateful for one breath. The soul that acquires rights is not actually free, and is an illusion. St. Paul, in this famous epistle, has this teaching also with regard to what we're here for and what is important to us. For me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain. What one sees sometimes actually on gravestones, at least in England and Wales, and it says it all. He is our richness. Whatever He wants to send us, that is enough.